Hi, how's it going? My name is Bernard. If I seem really pissed off in this video, it's because this is the 10th time I'm recording this, and also the nature of this entire video is just starting to really get to me. I thought I'd put on this nice shirt for the video, and it turns out I'm also wearing these damn sweatpants, right? Okay, so we already know this is going to be a great quality video. Hopefully the microphone got all that, because God knows even the audio's been screwed up. Alright, so I have a new setup. I have a nice backdrop here. Your channel was deleted. Sorry about that. Over the last few weeks, a lot of YouTubers have been talking that every time they upload a brand new video, it seems like either people are unsubscribing or YouTube is unsubscribing those people from them.
This is from when I just uploaded. As you can see, it's slowly going down, but then all of a sudden, bam! Look at this. I don't know. I just lost subscribers.
Or sometimes for some of these videos, all of a sudden there's just a sharp drop off of views, or sometimes there's this weird increase in views and nobody can really explain it. So people are thinking, hey, you know, this system is really getting in on my nerves. And you know, there's just a problem that, hey, can we even make it? A lot of these big YouTubers, they do this for a living, and you know, this is a big question now. Hey, if the system breaks, or if the system changes ever so slightly, can it possibly just completely shut down my entire livelihood? I don't do YouTube for a living. I do it for fun. And to those people who are finding the problems in the algorithm, I want to say to them, welcome to my YouTube 2016. Because ever since around the month of February, things were going great. December 2015, January 2016, and come February, boom, tanks. And it got to the point where I used to upload videos every day. And, you know, these were just games and just fun stuff. I still do this for fun. And I found out the more I uploaded, the less subscribers I would get. On the days that I uploaded, every time I uploaded, I'd lose a bunch of subscribers. Some of my favorite videos have lost me tons of subscribers. And then what I found out was that the more videos I put up, that particular day that I put up a video, there would be no subscribers anymore. People would stop subbing, as if something had disturbed the algorithm in the sense that, hey, you just put up a video and it might not be consistent with what you normally get, or you're getting a lot of views that are just your subscribers, so bam, we're just going to stop people from subscribing to you, or we're just going to not show your video to new people, right? So what I want to say is that the algorithm makes or breaks you, because this has been happening for me. I even experimented with this. I did something over the last few months. I'll be honest, I cracked a few months ago, and I just thought, you know what, there's no point in putting out so many videos when I put up 5 or 6 videos in a month and I get the exact same number of views and the exact same number of subscriptions. Like, it's flatlined. It has a baseline level, but it's pretty much flatlined, and the fact that it's not really getting much more. One thing that I always thought about, look at Pewdiepie's channel, right? Middle of 2014, boom, his peak, right? He revisited that peak throughout this year and not so much last year. I can only imagine somebody who does something like YouTube, and then they look and they see the numbers and they say, hey, you know, I've seen those numbers years ago, right? The way that I see it is that I put up a video and I get however many views, and I say, okay, great, I've seen those numbers before. I haven't broken any bounds yet, but these are the same numbers that I saw before when I had 2,000 subscribers rather than 7,000. You would think that something would have, I don't know, maybe increased a little bit, but no, it didn't. And I get, you know, it's only been a few months if you want to consider an entire 12 months as just a few, but it's like one of those things that, you know, no matter what I do, I could either not put up videos or I could put up videos and it's going to be the same goddamn result. If that's the case, why even kill yourself doing this? Especially when you're trying to do this for fun. Sometimes when it doesn't become fun, just don't do it, all right? So that's what I mean by the algorithm either makes or breaks you, because the way that YouTube works is that they can put up whatever videos they want on whoever's front page. They can recommend any kind of video that they want on the side to whoever they want. It's a question of whether they want to for your particular video. And then it is also, again, to the next link in the chain, whether or not the person actually wants to click on the video, which, who knows? Maybe a lot of people just don't want to click on the thumbnail because there's not a pair of tits in there, okay? With that being said, there is a genuine decrease in popularity that some people can get. I really don't like seeing this. Look at Leafy's channel. He exploded this year, right? Last year around this time, he didn't even have 1 million. Now he's at 4 million, but he's been losing a bunch of subscribers. And look at his views, right? It used to be he would break 1 million every single time. He struggles to break 1 million now. When you get more views per video than you have subscribers, that means that YouTube is pushing your video out. Now he's not getting as many views as he does subscribers. So what's going on is that it's really only his subscribers who are watching. If you are a YouTuber, just know, if you can get 15% of your subscribers in views, that's actually really good, okay? That's just on general, and the really big channels struggle with this sometimes because there's so many subscribers from so many different kinds of videos. The problem with somebody like Leafy is that the more you do one type of video, the more likely it is that you are not future-proof in your channel, in the sense that once people kind of get sick of the content, they just don't want to watch anymore. Just look at Epic Mealtime, another concentrated idea which had it big for some time and then just completely died. There's also some other people like Olga K, if you remember, or Swift Karate Chop. And these people just completely disappeared, right? They're still there, though. They still make videos, but wow, that drop in popularity. It's just like Lady Gaga protesting by herself out in front of the Trump Tower on election night. Like, whatever happened to her? There is a genuine decrease in popularity that has nothing to do with an algorithm. So that being said, that is actually a reality too. All right, so the one thing that comes out of all of this conversation is people say that, oh, YouTube needs to be more transparent. We need to know exactly what YouTube is thinking and exactly what YouTube is doing, okay? If you've ever been in a leadership position, you don't always want to be transparent. Now, I'm not saying that's right, but there's a few points in mind to keep in here. Number one, if you have ever written a code, or if you like any kind of code base, right? If you have an algorithm, debugging an algorithm is so incredibly difficult. If you're in college doing computer science, try debugging some of your sorting algorithms. I'm pretty sure you want to rip your hair out. Okay, and that's a simple one. I made a video on another algorithm that I wrote. That thing, even though it's like less than 100 lines of code, is so ridiculously difficult to debug. You make one little change and you have no idea, like you see visually how it changes, but you don't know exactly how it changed because you just modified one line of code, okay? When it comes to YouTube and the millions and billions of views that it gets, I would suspect that whoever's writing that algorithm, whoever's in charge of maintaining it, if they change one line of code, they have no idea what's going to happen because it's going to take so long for it to occur. It will be on the time scale of days to weeks to even see how a little change in the algorithm is going to work. So if you don't know how it's going to change, how can you be transparent with people and say, well, we expect it to do this, but we know with some certainty, they don't even know the certainty that it's going to happen, then they're not going to have any idea. So if they don't know what's going to happen, how can you expect them to tell you, well, we intended for this to happen, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen? They're not going to know, okay? And second of all, you're dealing with a user base. And when I mean user base, I talk about the creators. You're dealing with a user base of people who make a living off getting attention. Do you remember that stupid drama that happened over this past summer? And I know that this is only a small part of YouTube, but that Leafy, Keemstar, iDubbbz, grade A under A drama, and just the sheer misinformation that was being spread about each of these people, when all you had to do was just watch a video the entire way through to see what was really going on from their perspective. Even then, in the comments section, you have people who just didn't get the fucking point and they didn't see the video. They just read the headline and they say, oh, well, oh, this guy's a fucking dick because blah, 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 right? Some stupid point that they don't even get. Can you imagine if YouTube tells one of the creators, hey, we're going to change the algorithm a little bit. It's going to favor, one quality over the other. And this person is going to go make a rant about it and then, twist the words. This is a bad game of telephone that's going to happen from people. And the very first link in the chain of communication is going to be people who are actively trying to seek attention to make a living. Do you think that this shit is actually honest? No, it's not. And do you think that people who are in charge of this entire platform want this misinformation to be spread by a bunch of people who already have zero credibility when it comes to making things that are honest? No, they're not going to. I'm not saying it's right. And I'm saying that there should be some transparency, but look at it from the context of YouTube, in the sense that who are they dealing with? It's not an easy decision for them to make. I've wanted to do YouTube starting as early as 2008. And back then, I thought that this was a really cool way of sharing videos, sharing ideas. The allure of YouTube is that it's free and open. It's, in fact, the freest profession in my mind that you can ever pursue. The second being computer programming or software development, in the sense that you don't need anything to get in. You could even go to the Apple Store and you can make a video on one of their laptops and you can upload it from their computers on their internet connection, and then you have a video on YouTube. You could consider yourself a YouTuber if you did that. To me, that's one of the coolest things, because an absolute nobody in their basement can do something that they thought would be cool, just an idea that they wanted to try, or maybe it was a mistake and they thought that they could just put it up anyways, and ends up becoming one of the biggest things. It could be the next big hit, and could then start to fight or compete with the big players that are already established in that area. The problem is that when a profession is no longer open, like how YouTube is, you're not going to see those small nobodies, those people in their basement who thought that they could cut something open, make a video out of it because it'd be a school project, and then end up making 3 million subscribers. Or just some college roommates who thought that they could do some trick shots and ends up, becoming 14 million subscribers. You would shut those people out. This is the reason I bring this up. I found this tweet from somebody from the Game Grumps, and there's nothing new in this tweet except for one line, and this is very concerning to me. They talk about having a union to fall back to, and then also working conditions. When it comes to a free profession, that a free and open platform like YouTube, there are no working conditions. You dictate your own working conditions. If you're addicted to the numbers that you want to keep artificially high, or just keep high all the time because of your own accord, that's on you. That's not on anybody else. And some people might say, oh, but I do this for a living. Yeah, I understand that, but if you need to take a break, you can take a break. But the one thing that brings up about unions, right? I come from medicine. Medicine is the most regulated profession. If you don't have the word doctor in your name, you're nobody. You're not even allowed to do anything. If you try to engage in the practice of medicine when you don't have a license, you're going to go to jail. And in order to get that license, you need to have a degree, which means that you need to go to school for like another 12 years after high school in order to get anywhere. And trust me, in medicine, there's not going to be some random person in their basement trying something out that would be cool and then thinking that maybe they would have made a new medicine, or maybe that they could have come up with some new treatment idea. That doesn't happen. Anything that's big in medicine that has come out over the last 50 years has because somebody got lucky and cashed out on a government program that required that somebody had to do something. Take, for example, this company. They got big because they cashed out on the AIDS epidemic. Or how about this company where the government mandated that all doctors now have to log in patient information into a system, and this is the system that ended up winning out. When you have something like unions, you'll benefit the people who are already in. And trust me, I benefit from it, okay? The median doctor salary is 6 figures. It has a 2 in the front, and there's less than 1 million people in my profession, right? We've effectively locked out anybody who wants to go in but maybe isn't good at school, maybe doesn't have 12 years in their life to devote to schooling, and we lock them out. We shut out all of your ideas. It only takes one person to come up with a huge idea to overturn something. But hey, we've completely shut out that one person from coming in. Think about this. The alternative to a union is having a professional licensure. In 1950, here in America, only 3% of jobs needed licensure. In 2016, 30% of jobs need licensure. And we do it under the guise of we need to improve the quality of the services that we provide. First of all, there's no evidence that any of the licensure that we have for any of the professions do anything to increase the quality. Second of all, you have things like shampoo assistant need a license, and in order to get that license, you need to take a college-level course to learn about things. Your barber, if you're here in the United States, need a cosmetology license, and in order to take that license, they need to go to a hair anatomy class where they learn about the follicles of the hair. Yeah, because that's going to totally make that person a better barber. And in fact, professional licensure has done probably one of the worst things to people that are actually working, in that you have completely shut out people who can't afford these licenses, because not only do you have to renew the license every other year, but you also have to take continuing education courses on a lot of these licenses, and then you have to pay the cost of the course, or your employer has to pay it, which means that if they have to pay it, then they're going to hire less people because it's a higher cost for them to maintain somebody in your profession with that particular training. You think the unemployed people who can barely get a job, who just finished high school and didn't get a degree, you think they can survive in this licensed environment? No, that's part of the reason why the unemployment rate is so high. My point is, union, you're going to shut other people out. You're going to do fine if you're already established on the platform. You're going to shut anybody else out. If you go professional licensure, you're going to make it so that it's impossible for just random people to come in. You want to talk about inequality? This is inequality. This isn't the only event that's going to happen, but it's very scary that it's already starting to get brought out here when it comes to internet video, because internet video is really only about 10 years old, and it's general consensus. We're here in the Wild West when it comes to this area. All right, I want to wrap this up because this is an important generational event, in my opinion. Most of the people who are on YouTube, who either watch or create, they're millennials, right? Born starting 1982, all the way up to the 2000s. There are some people that are older, but I would say majority of people who have hit it big on this platform are, in fact, millennials. Now, we're coming of age to the point where what we do with our time makes money. And in this case on YouTube, there's people who make millions of dollars on this platform who are millennials. And they know now that something like this can threaten their livelihood and that they're doing everything that they can do to protect it. If, in fact, they go with some kind of way to shut out regular people, whether or not they intend to, what they're going to do is they're going to save their own ass at the cost of everybody else. Because not only will you have stagnating content when it comes to protecting the already established, you're going to shut out any chance of anybody else coming in and potentially introducing new ideas and growing the market as a whole. Now look, just one event when it comes to changing the algorithm isn't going to make or break this entire platform or the concept of internet video. But when people start to bring up ideas like this, these are old problems. And every single generation for the last few hundred years have been talking about this. And every single time they come up with the same solution, and look at the mess that we're in right now. In the general whole as a society, we can barely afford basic stuff for a lot of people. A regular person can't even make a real living. And meanwhile, we have a free and open platform where people can do as they wish, and even that's starting to get shut down and closed as well. This isn't the only event that's going to happen, that's going to really shut people out, that's going to mandate either unions or licensure for YouTube. I don't see that happening anytime soon, but you never know. 10 years is a long time, and a lot of things can happen. With that being said, that's my warning from somebody from a very regulated profession getting angry at this algorithm. I think that this is really only a transient issue, but this concept of union licensure regulation and the ultimate shutting out of other people from this platform will be a lingering problem for quite some time. That's it for my rant. This is the 10th time I've recorded this video. I don't know. Anyways, leave a like if you enjoyed. I hope you did. And see ya in the next one. Adios, amigos.